We need to have a chat. So every time that I post a test and the guy fails, everybody in the comments are like, ew, gross, men, ew, she needs to leave him, she deserves better. But then if I post one and the guy passes, everybody in the comments are like, he needs to leave her, he deserves better. I would leave my girl if she tested me. Like, what are you talking about? Y'all weren't upset when the girl tested her boyfriend and then he cheated, but you were upset whenever she tested him and he passed. Shouldn't we just be happy that he passed?
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
Hey, woman, you're kind of leaving out some key details here. Now, you profit off of the trust issues of modern women, so you're in zero position to take any form of moral high ground on this one. The reason why men get angry in your comments section is because self-respecting men kinda really don't like to have their trust or boundaries violated. If a woman pays you to test that man's loyalty, it is seen as a massive insult by the man. Now, I get it. You're a modern woman. Loyalty is something you have for sale, and it's only valuable if a man is willing to pay for it. But to a self-respecting man, the mere accusation of disloyalty is enough to deeply offend him to a degree that's on par with calling you fat, poor, or painfully average looking. So when a man finds out that his woman was paying you to test his loyalty, you not only broke his home, you violated his privacy in exchange for internet clout. So no, nobody's happy with him being loyal. He's furious because his woman didn't trust him and you profited financially from his ruin.
It's always the men. Sorry, it's always the boys commenting. He deserves better. He needs to leave her. She's crazy. She's insecure. And then whenever I go look at Zeldrin's profile where he does test on girls, all the guys are in the comments, you know, hyping him up, whatever. But I never see you guys in the comments saying, she needs to leave him. He shouldn't have tested her. That's crazy. That's insecure. So why is it so different when a girl tests a guy? Please make up your mind, please. And do you guys also know that you have the freedom to not watch my videos? You can block me. I don't care. Scroll past my videos, block me. If you don't like it, I don't need to see your comment. And if I keep getting nasty, hateful comments, I'm gonna block you. So block me before I can block you.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Madam, I'm going to advise that you should probably lay off the boxed wine flavored cough syrup, as people are starting to get a little worried about you. The reason why it's different is because of the culture that you and your collective of miserable shrews created. The biggest reason why is because men are marginalized in today's society. We're called dusty, creepy, violent, stupid, broke, and other uncreative terms that you guys think are insulting. Modern women will cheat and find any justification to avoid feeling guilt, and it's becoming more and more common by the day. So when a man sees that his woman is cheating on him, yes, he does deserve better. And when a woman needlessly questions his loyalty, yes, that man also does deserve better. Hope that clears it up. But if you want to block me, go ahead. I couldn't care less. I'm not a woman. Social media blockages mean next to nothing to me. But that's only because I have a life and I have this exclusive little club on the internet filled with incredibly cool people who laugh at your hypocrisy while supporting other men. It's kind of a sweet deal. So go ahead and block me. I literally couldn't care less.
Well, bye.
Well, in thank God I'm single news, I just witnessed something that made me thrilled to be going home alone today and every day for the time being. I was at Starbucks and this couple was there, and I know they were a couple, you'll hear in a second. The guy paid for their 2 drinks, and then in front of the cashier and everyone else in line behind him, which was about 15 people, he loudly said to her, "Okay, I need you to Venmo me for this." And she goes, "Yeah, okay." And like a little taken aback. And he's like, "No, like right now." And she said, "Honey, I've been with you for 5 years. You think I'm not gonna pay you for this?"
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Imagine living a life that's so devoid of any legitimate meaning that you need to justify your life decisions while living vicariously through the interactions of complete strangers. And even if that wasn't the case, who the hell cares, lady? The interaction they had is none of your business. You have literally nothing to do with the story being told, but your life is so empty and meaningless that you have to feed off the relationship drama of other people so you can pretend to have relationship drama by proxy. The story doesn't even have any entertainment value. It's just a couple arguing at Starbucks. Who cares? Does this warrant an entire video? I'll give you a hint, sister. It really doesn't. I mean, I guess it would if you had something constructive to say, but then again, the only thing you have to say is that you're single and the Venmo drama makes you thankful for that. So the question must be proposed once again. Who the hell cares?
Now, I understand sharing finances. I get that. I understand one person not paying for everything. Ladies and gentlemen and whomever, you deserve better than some jerk who, after 5 years of dating you, is begging you rudely and loudly in front of other humans, or otherwise, by the way, to give him $3.50 for a beverage. I can't imagine. Like, lady, you deserve better. I'm gonna have more of these thank God I'm single stories, by the way, because I feel them all the time. So, more to come on that.
No, that's not necessary.
Did you seriously just say humans or otherwise? What in the name of the modestly priced secondhand car of the intergalactic space god Trumploplafarf, all hail, are you even talking about, woman? Are you seriously trying to be inclusive to the human beings who think they're animals? You are, aren't you? I don't see how you're qualified to talk about relationships when you've clearly never had one, and you're also thinking that people who identify as houseplants are actually interested in hearing what you have to say on any subject whatsoever. And that's because you have nothing to say. You're lonely, bitter, and so desperate for attention that you're going to use other people's petty squabbles as a way to get it. That is how empty your life has become, and the empathy you derive from your comments section will not fill the void that you have in your soul, lady. Nothing can do that, because you're too far gone. But the only thing I can suggest is that you put down the phone, mind your own business, and just shut up, because nobody cares that you're single. We already know the reason why.
You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say! You are a one-hived mind twat waffle!
So my freshman year of college, I went on like a lot of like dates, like first dates and stuff. And I was very, very picky. So I would like just stop seeing guys for no reason. But definitely the weirdest reason was this one dude who, he had planned like a super cute first date. Like we had gone on a picnic and I was gluten-free, so everything was gluten-free. It was really, really thoughtful. And then we had gone on a couple more dates, but like, again, like very, very early on, we don't know each other. He's never been to my house, right? One day he's walking me to class and he turns to me and he goes, "Which side are you on for Israel-Palestine?" Like that. And I was like taken aback because one, sides is a weird terminology there. And two, like, whoa, we were just chatting about the weather. So I turn back and I give the diplomatic answer because like I don't know what he's gonna say. And I go, "Oh, like I don't think you should really be like picking sides when human lives are at stakes." And he like kind of like nods and like goes quiet. And I go, "Oh, so what side are you on?" And he goes, "Oh, I guess I don't care." I was like, what? He goes, "Yeah, no, it doesn't really affect me, so I guess I just don't super care." And so that was really bizarre, and then we stopped talking, but yeah, that was definitely the weirdest.
I'm not touching that with a 60-foot pole. Next caller.
Don't ask me how I know, but I doubt the conversation happened that way. But then again, we're talking about a college campus in America here, and undergrads who aren't studying anything useful are some of the dumbest people on the face of the planet. I should know. And I'm not touching that subject with a 10-foot pole, because I'd rather talk about 3,000 Miles to Graceland, one of the best movies around. Have you ever wondered what a midlife crisis would look like if it took a movie form? Well, this movie's got you covered. Kevin Costner tries way too hard to be cool thanks to a subconscious resentment towards Christian Slater, who's naturally cool with half the effort. David Arquette is just happy to be working as he takes a break from making an ass out of himself with that whole DDP Jeff Jarrett fiasco during WCW's downfall, and Howie Long's there too to sing Paul Simon, apparently. And you got Kurt Russell, who's good at like 97.6% of everything he's ever done. And when you add in the fact that he's impersonating Elvis, you know you're in for a good time. Okay, maybe not a good time, but come on. 3,000 Miles to Graceland will almost always be a better waste of your time than discussing ideological conflicts that are occurring on the opposite side of the planet. Plus, it only costs half the dignity.
Why won't my partner change? I've told them what I need. I've asked them for it. I've begged them for it. I've spelled it out. I've told them a million different ways on a million different days. Why won't they change? I love answering this question because there is a very scientific explanation. They don't have the capacity. They don't have the capacity to change because they don't, one, probably truly recognize that they need to. Their own defensiveness is so strong that it blocks them from being able to have the empathy and compassion they need to actually try to make changes to improve the relationship.
Man, that's just mean. That's mean, man.
Okay, it's pretty obvious. I'm not a science dude. I fell asleep in most of my intergalactic space science classes, so when it comes to the subject of the science, I'm just not that kind of guy. And I only passed those college science courses through a series of errors that can only be described as guesses that were profoundly lucky. But I really don't see what kind of field the science covers the blanket judgment of men. It's not that men don't have the capacity for change. We do. It's called personal growth. It takes years of work and self-reflection to do. But we're not talking about personal growth here. We're talking about a man to completely change his sense of identity in order to please you. And it implies that there's nothing wrong with you and that it's the man isn't doing what you want him to do. And that's not really science. That's judgmental laziness on your part.
And number two, they don't have the right tools. Understanding doesn't lead to change. If understanding led to change, we would have so many changed, healed people out there. We have a group of people, a large, massive amount of people out there who have a ton of understanding around their own flaws, their own defects, and 0% capacity to change because nobody's ever introduced them to the tools to build their capacity. Now, we have a smaller amount of people that don't believe that they need to change.
That's racist! Yeah, that smaller amount of people you're referring to are modern women as a whole. They're the ones who believe that they're perfect and it's the men that are causing all of their woes. We hear it all the time. Men are toxic, men are violent, men are more dangerous and not as cuddly as bears. And when I hear you say that men aren't capable of changing, all I hear is that they're not capable of letting you control everything. That's what this whole changing business is all about. It's about you creating the man that you think you deserve and not working with the man that you have. That's how a relationship works. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. But if you're going to be making nonsense demands of a man and then insulting him when he doesn't meet those demands, that says more about you than it does about him.
So it's really one of two things. Either they just don't think they need to, which doesn't start the journey to get the tools to build the capacity, or they understand that they do need to change, but they don't have the tools to build capacity. So what I feel like makes what I do very different is that I build capacity. So you can tell a dismissive avoidant all day long, hey, you need to go and have that hard conversation with your wife. They're not going to execute because they're in flight or freeze. Their nerve systems are frozen and they just can't execute it. So they've been told by a professional, go have this hard conversation, go resolve this conflict. And then they never do it because to them, it's like walking towards a moving chainsaw and that feels way too scary. And then they're up in fight, flight, or freeze and they just can't. They can't execute. So I teach people how to really take authority over their thoughts, to regulate their nervous systems like a boss, to do all of the things to build their capacity to then execute what they know or sometimes don't know that they need to do.
You! I will think of you as I throw up into the toilet.
I hate to break it to you, sister, but what you're saying is profoundly condescending. Here's how I know. If we flip the script and say, my woman won't change for me. I've told her a dozen times what I need from her and she just won't listen. Why won't she change for me? Guess what? All of a sudden, I'm the bad guy. All of a sudden, I have to deal with the questions. Why does she have to change? Why can't you just accept her imperfections? Why are you so toxic and controlling? It completely disregards the needs of the man and assumes that the woman is the victim. In modern relationships, men are second-class citizens, always needing to cater to the traumas of a woman who refuses to do anything because she's too busy nitpicking the meaningless things that she doesn't like about her man. Meanwhile, the man is just supposed to live with whatever issues the woman has while she pretends to work on herself, but ultimately blames the man when she does nothing and then nothing happens. And even if the man does everything that he can, it's still not going to be good enough because she will always see him as a man who refuses to change for her. The only thing that needs to change here is your narrative and your shirt. Seriously, woman, it's a couch, not something you flay. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button. Ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.